sometimes not really familiar faces, but it's all good. Ladies and gentlemen, culture lovers, and soul rhythm chasers, this morning we're joined by one of Rwanda's finest, most exciting voices, generally bending storyteller, creative force, and someone who is redefining what it means to be an artist from the heart of Africa. Byinshii is in the building. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, despite the rain this morning, but I still feel bright.
How did you even get here in this rain? I must applaud you for that. It's not like it's easy to wake up in the morning in this weather and be here.
It was not easy because, waking up in the rain is like, shh.
No,
but I was
soothing
like,
your sleep.
yeah. But I was also at the same time so excited to be here today. So I still woke up and I think it's still going to be a good day. Maybe the sun is going to come later.
It's going to be a good day.
Yeah.
Until this week, I've never known about any artist with the names Byinshii. Apart from your family, who else knows you in Rwanda?
You just made her laugh. So
Oh my God. I don't know if I should go back home and cry right now.
we're just trying, by the way, it's no offense on that. We're just trying to get to know you. And we're trying to get to have you speak.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I believe I have a few followers on Instagram already. And I have a number of people who come to my concerts because I mostly do live performances here in Kigali and all over the world. So I tend to meet some people in the audience then who get to know me. So apart from my family, I can rely on that other family. And you guys right now, you can,
we know
you're locked in.
I know, we are locked in. Very interesting. So who is Kaya?
Yeah, so Byinshii is a Rwandese singer, songwriter, and I'm also very interested in theater, and I've had a couple of acts right now in theater, but mostly I compose music and write music, and I also write poetry sometimes.
Nice.
And so Byinshii is just a person who really love art and love the freedom of expression and believe that I can use my talents to express or be a voice of a certain cause or a certain belief, or certain, to just spread some energy spiritually as well.
Which belief is that when you say belief?
So when I say belief, it's the belief of seeing the good in life. For me, I feel like it's my point of being alive and also having all the talents that God gave me, is to try to share with the people the good in life, to try to see the good in life and to celebrate love and love for each other, every moment to use it for the best, and also to live, to basically live, so that we will not have some time to regret after we are dead that we didn't live.
So are you confirming that you are an actress or a musician?
I'm a musician, but a musician also aspiring in theater.
In theater?
Yes.
So you want to do theater in Rwanda?
Yes. And internationally.
You have been to places around the world. Do you want to talk to us about which places you've been at, where you have performed?
Yes, I've mostly been in France, and I've performed so many times. I've done residencies, and my recent single is also, my recent single is in French, and I've done also a bit of a tour on the French media and all of that. I've also been in Italy. And I've done a tour in 2023 for my latest album. And I was able to go to different countries in Africa, including Uganda, Burundi, Kenya, Ethiopia, Algeria. I did 5 cities in Algeria, Alger, Annaba. I did 5 cities. And I was also in Djibouti on the tour. And Yeah, so far I've also been in Gabon.
Many places you've been at. How does it make you feel? I mean, I want to travel as much as you do.
I like her, I told you.
How does that make you feel being in all these places?
Honestly, it makes me feel so humble because I get to realize that the world does not just end here in our little Rwanda, Kigali. So when I get to go out, I feel humble because I realize that I'm just one single piece of the puzzle that makes everything happen. But it also makes me feel inspired because it makes me see the possibilities of that there's no limit to how far a message or an artist can go, and also to how far people can receive your art, because all over the world, as I told you, I go, I perform, they really seem to enjoy what I'm doing, and that makes me feel so inspired because it's like actually what I'm doing, the message I'm doing in whichever language I'm sending it goes beyond that language or that face or that, like it's a message that's meant to penetrate beyond that. So that is something that everybody deserves, and it becomes a proof that everybody deserves that, and that I can do it, that I can go as far as I can go.
I've listened to some of your music. What type of music is this that you're singing? Is it what they call world music?
Yes, it's what they call world music, but with different genres. I try to explore as different genres as possible, including soul, blues, reggae. I love reggae.
No wonder you have dreadlocks.
Yeah, I really love reggae. I find it soothing and easy to get the message and the music, the actual rhythm and all of that. So yeah, I tend to explore different genres, but I wouldn't put myself in one single box. But what I do, basically, people tend to call it world music.
Let's go back to the beginning.
Yes.
Do you remember the moment you realized that the music wasn't just something you loved, but something you had to do?
Yeah. In fact, I do remember. I do remember it was when I was in university.
How long ago was that? Because
it's not so long ago.
You make it sound like it was ancient days.
Come on, Jesse, she's a very young lady. I don't think it's ancient days. But how long ago was that?
It's not so long. It was in 2017.
Okay.
Which university?
It was the second year. It was at Kepler.
Oh, Kepler University.
Yeah, Kepler University. Yeah, so I joined in 2016, but in 2017, that's when I felt like, I started to put my feet on that ground. When you start in the first year, it's kind of chaotic, but the second year was really grounding. And so that's when I joined. There was a band at school, and I had a friend who was in the band, and he knew I was singing. His name is Jules César. He's now in theater. He's writing and directing theater. But at that moment, he was in music. He still does music, but a little bit. So he's the one who invited me to the band. And so with the band, we used to perform. So in 2017, we did this one performance. It was like a charity thing, but we played with the band because so the person who was in the school, who was in charge of the band, her name is Caroline. She was a very good jazz. She is a very good jazz singer and musician. So, and at the time, he was playing with the jazz band here called Makumbi Sound.
Okay.
They were really great. I don't know why they stopped, but they were really great. And so at that moment, in that concert, they were also playing. So our band was playing and they were playing. But in that moment, when I was on that stage and playing with the people that I looked up to, right? It's the moment that I feel like, wow, this is really this is what I think this is what I'm meant to do. That's when I felt it.
Interesting. For me, I want to take you back a little bit.
Yes.
Giza, right?
Byinshii.
Okay.
Yes.
Not Giza. Byinshii. Kaya girl from... Where exactly do you come from? And has anyone ever told you... Which side of Rwanda do you come from? And has anyone ever told you that you have a very good radio voice? Have you thought of doing radio maybe?
Yeah, actually, in fact, when I was in high school, I did languages and literature, but I was hoping to become a journalist.
You still can. So you come from which side of Rwanda? Is it Kigali City in Nyarugenge? Which side of Kigali?
Yes. Actually, I come from. I was born and raised in Kigali, in Nyamirambo, Nyarugenge.
See, this is what I wanted Jesse to hear. Nyamirambo has talent. Jesse, I have sung this.
I'm not even bragging.
Talent. See, we need to move to Nyamirambo. We need to meet a lot of these guys. Man.
You see, Nyamirambo, Kigali, these places have such an artistic pulse. All right. I want to check, how has the city of Kigali shaped your voice? Not the voice literally, but your creativity, your identity. Where do you pick your stories?
So I pick my stories from personal experiences and my personal analysis from everything around me, basically. But I feel like Nyamirambo has kind of inspired me to just be who I am, because the city, that town is just like that. Like, everybody is just themselves. They do what they want. And at the little age, we are kind of exposed to different activities that just make you get out of your body. Because, for example, when I was so little, I was playing basketball in Club Rafiki. And I used to play like when I was in primary school. So when I went to secondary school, it was so easy. I found myself in the school basketball team, because
you did basketball.
Yes, I did so many things, but yeah, I found myself in the team because like I was just that flexible and open-minded, because like people basically just, you see people around in the neighborhood growing up. I was growing up seeing like, artists also doing themselves, wearing whatever they want, having whatever hair they want to have. So it was never for me a question of restraining the person I want to become, but more like, growing up I saw this person, so I can also be that. I can be whoever I want. I can go to play when I want. And there's also so many activities that happen, and like dance. There's so many dancers in Nyamirambo, like almost everybody.
Please take me with you to Nyamirambo. I want to be there.
Yeah,
now, music is your career, right?
Yes.
That's why you earn your bread. When you step in the studio, okay, what is that non-negotiable? Is it the mood? Is it a ritual? Or is it just a cup of tea?
I don't really have one
A special
yet,
ritual? Or do you prefer...
What do you carry with you? Like, do you carry your cup of coffee in studio? What particular thing
do you ever want people to be present when you're doing your music, or do you just want to do it
yeah,
alone?
that's the thing. I like to have my privacy, so I don't like to be in the studio, and I would be there if I'm hanging out, but if I'm recording and if I'm gonna work on something, I just want me and the relevant people to that project to be there. I don't want a bunch of people.
You don't want a crowd.
Yeah, I don't want a crowd. Except if they're on the project, like if they're musicians, if they're, they're about to contribute on that idea, but not just hanging out. I feel like it drains, because my attention just is all over, everywhere.
I've seen you perform on stages. You've performed live in intimate spaces. You've performed in bigger international stages. How do you adapt your energy across the different crowds? I'd like to know what is your personality like? Is it the go personality, extrovert, or are you the one that when you're done with the stage, close, get inside, don't want to see no people?
That's what I prefer. That's what I prefer to, because it's.
Are you an introvert, you would say?
It depends. Some people would tell you that I'm an extrovert because I like people and I like to socialize. But deep down inside me, I'm an introvert, especially when I'm not used to people. When we're not familiar yet, you would think I'm like so shy. But when you get to know me, it's a different story. So I have different personalities. But yeah, to answer your question, for example, me before I go on stage, I like to take my time to put myself, because it's a holy state, because I feel like I'm about to be a vessel, and I don't know how to act in that vessel, so I don't have total control. So I like to be with myself for a few minutes before I hit the stage, so that I can kind of put myself in a state of receiving but also giving fully. So when I'm done after the stage, I also want to go in a state where I can like regain or process all the energies that we have just exchanged.
Yeah, that's really so spiritual.
I know,
Sounds
he's
like
very spiritual.
Rastafarian,
He
yeah?
told us. No, she said she has her ways, her spiritual ways, which I like. I told her I like her already. She has her ways. Which
I don't know how
totally
you
different.
collect yourself after being hyper and energetic to do music such as this. This is Kaya Byinshii. It's 5 a.m., a song that I found. Very beautiful song, by the way. I love
Thank
music
you.
like this. This is a song you like to listen to when you're waking up.
Let's listen to it.
5 a.m. in the morning, trying to speak my thoughts, asking where I wanna go in life to me. 5 a.m. in the morning, trying to speak my thoughts. There's nothing to do with such as early.
Early in the morning, Kaya Byinshii there, 5 a.m. in the morning. Great song, beautiful song. What do you do 5 a.m. in the morning? Because in the lyrics you say 5 a.m. in the morning, that's my time.
Yes. So I don't. I would be lying if I said I do it all the time.
What activity goes on? What do you do at 5 a.m.?
It's usually a run, actually.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I like to run. So when I get a chance to discipline myself enough to wake up at 5 a.m., I go for a run, because I feel like it's the earliest for me time that I can wake up, and I feel like it's also the time when the day begins. And for me, when the day begins, I really appreciate, because it reminds me that I'm still alive. And so when I go on a run, it's like, yeah, I'm alive. I have a body that's functioning and the air to breathe. So that's basically, and also I think about a lot, like, what is this? What do I want to do? Like, according to the plans I have, like how do I? It's like a meditation. Yeah.
Do you ever feel the pressure to represent Rwanda anywhere you go, or you feel like, well, this is my music, I'm doing my thing, regardless where I'm coming from, or you feel the pressure, oh, I am here, I'm in Gabon, but I am Rwandan, and I need to tell people here about Rwanda.
But it's not a pressure. I wouldn't call it a pressure. But for me, when I'm outside the country, I feel even proud, to let everybody know I'm from Rwanda, and this is my music. My music is not, I wouldn't say, it's not traditional that you would recognize probably that I'm from Rwanda, but there would be signs.
What are those signs?
Tell us more about the signs.
Yeah, like the melodies, I dance sometimes on stage, and I tell people, about the stories, like with my song, like maybe the original inspiration, like maybe where I come from, this came, like, according to the song, like I give a little bit of a story behind. And I also always feel proud to mention that I'm from Rwanda, and I don't feel like I'm maybe like an ambassador or representative, but I feel like, I'm one Rwandese in this big country or in this small country. But wherever I go, most of the time, actually, I tend to connect with the diaspora, with the Rwandan diaspora, and I realize they're everywhere. Everywhere you find Rwandans, and they're always happy to reconnect with somebody from Rwanda. Kind of reminds them of the roots or the stories I tell and all of that. So I would say it's not a pressure, but it's pride.
What do you miss the most when you walk out of Kanombe Airport and you've gone? What do you miss the most about Rwanda?
The weather. The weather, because the weather here is quite perfect. So I do miss the weather, but I don't miss so many things. Like, I like to go to travel, to be out there. So when I go, I'm quite happy.
What have you learned in your journeys? Different places that you've gone to?
Yeah, that's a big question. What have I learned? Because every day I learn, but if I could summarize, I would say I've learned that there is no limit. There's no limit to anything, actually. Like, everything doesn't have an end or a limit, except when you're not breathing anymore. So my creations, opportunities, they come limitless, and I have learned that I can dream to go on any stage I want, and it can take some time, but I am allowed to dream about it. And the moment I dream about it, there's a big possibility it's gonna happen, actually. So that there is no limit, even in creating, because sometimes you want to create, but then you think about so many things, like, okay, what would somebody think? And for me, that's like a virus. And the moment I realize, or even remind myself, because that's a challenge that is pretty common. It's not something that I would say like I'm past it. It's something that can come anytime. But I feel lucky to remind myself that there's no limit. Like, Kaya, you can think about, dream about as big as you want.
They say it is really difficult to go further in life without people holding your hand. Who is opening all these doors for you in Italy, France, Gabon, Djibouti, all these places you're talking about? Is it you just knocking and getting into those doors, or there's somebody who is holding your hand?
Yeah, I knock a lot, because I believe in the power of just asking and telling your ideas, and then they can come to life or not. But as you said, there's people who hold hands. So I've been working with different people in different sectors along the way. I've worked with Green Ferry, who have helped me to produce my very first projects, my EPs and my album. I've worked with the French Institute here in Rwanda, who have connected me also with different French institutes around the world. And now I'm working with a producer, Marie-France Brière, who's also my publisher in France. And thanks to her, I've also worked on different, composed different music for documentaries, which I still do for films and documentaries. So along the way, I meet different people who hand me to other people, like to make connections, or simply somewhere I'm performing, somebody really likes what I do and they want to support, and I meet them thanks to that certain state to which I am.
I just want to give Juliana a challenge. I want you to ask Juliana a question in French.
Comment t'appelles-tu?
Say that again. Je m'appelle Juliana.
Et voilà! Hey, français!
Here's another song from Kaya. Byinshii. It's a French song. I think this is one of the latest that you've done.
It is.
Folie douce, quand tu m'épouses, des ailes, un ange. Les diables
Experience new things every other day in my line of work. But who knew I would be talking to a superstar who sings music exactly like this?
She's such a soulful singer.
This is the kind of music I play when I sit in my living room and open my laptop. When I tell you I'm working from home,
It's exactly what you listen to.
this is what I'm listening to.
I am very, very, very honored to actually be in the presence of someone like super talented like this. This is the kind of music you
thank
hear
you guys.
elsewhere, like people from outside countries. I can't
Anybody
believe
would
that this is the
listen to
girl I'm
this and say,
talking to.
no, this cannot be Rwandan.
I know.
Yeah? But
Right?
it is a Rwandan.
Actually, for that matter, Nyamirambo. Product of this is super cool, man. Girl, you're talented, you. I must say.
Thank
Kaya,
you.
I know we summing up, but before we let you go, I'd like you to finish this statement for me. Okay? I want you to finish this statement, which says,
I know.
My- my music is for people who, okay,
Love life.
people who love life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Life eaters,
It's full of life.
full of life.
This music
Yeah.
I would listen to, closed my eyes, lying facing up on my bed, and I'm just listening to this music for a whole hour. I would do that. It's just therapeutic, honestly speaking.
If your next project could be had in one place, would that be a forest, a rooftop, a jazz club, a village bonfire? Where would it be and why?
In a jazz club.
No jazz club.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you have something you're working on, which is coming?
Yes. In fact, I do.
Mhm.
In fact, I do. I have a project that I have started here in Kigali
Okay.
of live music. Exactly. Okay. It had nothing to do with the fact that I chose the jazz club, but it's kind of the idea. It's live music. It's playing live music. So I host each session per month, every month. It's
Okay.
called Live Niche.
Live
Niche.
sounds
live
like
niche, like
Yeah.
bigger live niche.
A lot of
A
yeah,
lot of
live
lots of
niche.
live.
That's interesting.
you know, it has to be
Niche.
pronounced well before
Because
the
before
A
it-
slides in.
Into
Live
into
nyash.
Nyash. Yeah. I knew that was coming. I knew you would. It's called live niche, not Nyash. Where is that? Where do you do that?
So I do it at it's every month at Mundi Center in Depot 37. So I curate live music sessions where me and the musicians we are playing music, and each session has a different theme. So my idea is that because in the club most of the times we go to the club to dance, but
We don't get to listen to the
to
music.
listen to the music,
right.
right? And it gives an intimate it's an intimate kind of vibe, like you're sitting, you have your drinks, and it's a whole setup. And for me it's also for the artists to practice performing, but also performing not to perform for people, but to perform for ourselves, like
Okay.
for us to really have fun. But the audience also, that's how they have fun, because we are exchanging that energy. So for me that's the idea, and I do that every month. The first one was in February. We didn't do March and April, obviously, but we are resuming this May, on the 15th of May. And it's going to be, this time the theme is going to be blues. So I'm going to be playing with musicians. I have two guests who are really bluesmen. I have Albert Toch, who's a very good musician. He has been there since the times, like he's not in my generation, and that's why I'm so excited for this session, because it's blending, because blues is not something for my generation that my generation would
Which
really
is your generation, though? Are you of yesterday alpha? Of
No,
course
no.
not. Are you a Gen Z or you a millennial?
Yeah, I'm a Gen Z.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm a Gen Z, and we are not so much of blues people, but blues for me, it's not even like the genre of music, but it's the blues is from the heart. Like if somebody's singing about their sorrows, like if they play guitar, I'm gonna also have Bolingo Pasi, who's a guitar player. Alberto plays harmonica and other instruments. So it's gonna be a blend, a night of venting and loving, but especially playing the blues, making those guitars cry, and ourselves singing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Make a guitar cry.
Yeah, these guys
Play
can
the
do
guitar
that.
and make the guitar cry.
What a pleasure to have you, Kaya, with us in the studios this beautiful morning. I know we will have you back again here sometime so soon towards your event to just talk about, the preparations and how we can get to that event.
Yes,
I would like to play
pleasure.
the last song, which is Eden. What is in this song?
So this song talks about it pictures about what happened in Eden, right?
The
The Adam and Eve.
The Adam and
arrangement.
Eve, yeah, arrangement, yeah, the situation.
A situationship.
Yeah, but the message was behind that message was that actually, as a person, what you want to do, nothing can stop you, even if God can tell you, like, hey, God, like, can you imagine the respect and the fear of God telling you do not touch? But because of we as humans, the things we want, like we like the
Until the
pleasures
snake
of
arrives,
life.
Until the serpent comes to you.
Yeah, the serpent comes and changes your mind, and you're like, fuck it. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Oh dear Lord.
This is Eden, the song from Kaya Byinshii. It's been a pleasure to have you around today, and we look forward to having you again.
Thank you so much.
It's
been a
Kigali in the
pleasure.
morning, the Friday office party.
I thought I was